I'm going to introduce the two authors for this book. First and foremost, my father, Colonel V.S. Ranganathan. He was in the Indian Territorial Army for 30 years. He started off in the Heavy Anti-Aircraft Regiment, moved on to the Light Anti-Aircraft Regiment, and then to Air Defense. He also moved subsequently to the Girls' NCC battalions. He has fought in 3 wars, the 1961 war, the 65 war, the 71 war, and he received medals for all of these. He has also received the highest medal, the highest decoration for a Territorial Army officer, and that was given to him by the Chief of the Army Staff then, General Babur, in 1972. People retire, after they serve in the army, but not my dad. He continued to have another 30 years of service in the real estate industry, which was surprisingly just as colorful and interesting as his stint in the army. And my dad has this ability to engage in conversations, long conversations with anybody, from a naughty 2-year-old to the chaiwala in the railway station to, these flashy CEOs who want to cut a quick deal, and or to a shy villager who's reluctant to give up his land. My dad is the true Indian. He fits into any situation seamlessly and gets the job done. My sister, Sandhya Ranganathan, she is the co-author of this book. She heads the technical communications team in an MNC and has recently completed 35 years of service. She has been writing ever since I can remember, whether it was stories or funny satires and poems and limericks. She was the one who introduced me to this wondrous world of books, which I'm so thankful and grateful for. She has also written and published a book called Mia Finds a Home, which is a children's illustrated book. It's on Amazon, so go and buy it if you haven't bought it already. She brought Appa's words and his thoughts to life. She was able to portray exactly what was on his mind and paint that picture on point. I really hope you all enjoy reading this book. Over to you, Appa.
Hello, my dear and near ones and everyone on the call. I wish to express my heartiest greetings to you all. Thank you so much for joining this event. That in itself is a support to me, and I look forward to interacting with you all even after this event. I was born in Burma when Baba, my dad, was with the British Army there. We had to flee to India when the Japanese bombed Rangoon during World War II. We restarted our life here. I always had strong desire to be in uniform and serve the nation. Starting from NCC in college, I was eventually commissioned in the Indian Territorial Army in 1956. I served in the artillery regiments and participated in the 3 wars. All the stories are in the book here. It has always been my desire to write an account of self and my family. A few years ago, I made a timeline and started jotting some notes on the computer. I even lost one whole draft and had to restart. Now I know Word pretty well. However, I soon realized that it was going to consume a lot of time to go about the narration chronologically, as I didn't remember everything to the same level of detail. I thought the best way would be to write as and when I was in the right frame of mind for it, and write whatever came across my mind. I found that my recollection of my early childhood and faraway times was clearer than recent times. Whenever I had a doubt, I would ask Prabha, Sandhya or Priya, and it would invariably end up into an animated family discussion over the dining table, trying to get the sequence and facts right. Those were precious bonding moments indeed. I compiled all my notes and requested my daughters to review my draft. My elder daughter Sandhya is a writer, so she took some incidents and gave them a different treatment. I found her style made the content interesting. Then we collaborated to complete the rest of the manuscript in the same format. Thereafter, she took it to this print version. I'll let her elaborate on that part. But I do want to sincerely thank the Bookmakers Literary Agency and Locksley Hall Publishers for converting my words to print, as this book is beyond what I initially imagined. My younger daughter Priya pitched in to select and place the available photographs and appropriately linking them to the occurrence of events. I hope the pictures enrich the narrative and you enjoy them as much as we did, choosing from many that we had. My daughters also added content where they featured in the book. Prabha, Siddharth, Tarana and Ryan played their part as supporting cast in the building of the script. It is my earnest endeavor to ensure that this book reaches the hands of kith and kin of future generations of our Mudaliar family, for whom this book is primarily written. If any of you find this book interesting to read, I humbly thank you for your indulgence. After sending the manuscript off to the publishers, many more stories came to my mind. Besides, many photographs were left over after we included considerable number in the book. Do join us on the Facebook page of the book, also called Burma to Bangalore, and we can continue this narrative. I encourage you to share if you have similar stories to tell with pictures. I have invited Dr. C. Hariharan, Managing Director of Biodiversity Conservation India Limited, Group Chairman, to be the chief guest to formally launch this event. I have had a long and fruitful association with him in my second innings in real estate ventures. From the family, I have invited my nephew Bhupati, a senior flourishing chartered accountant from Chennai, to say a few words. I must also be grateful to my nephew Harirajan, a dynamic pharmaceutical entrepreneur now in the US, for providing a foreword to this book. Thank you all very much and wish you the very best to emerge healthy and happy after trying times we are going through. As co-author and author, Sandhya and I are pleased to release this book for the benefit of you all. Happy reading.
I'm very excited today to be holding this book, Burma to Bangalore. It's been a long journey getting here, so let me tell you about it. My father was in the army and I spent a nomadic childhood through various postings. most summer holidays, we would come to Bangalore to my grandparents' place here in Bangalore, North Road, Cooktown. I recall my Baba, my grandfather, telling so many stories about Burma, how they fled over the Himalayas and various people and incidents. I was small then, but I wish I had listened more carefully so that I remembered more of the details. He was very dedicated to his people. Just like Appa, who's also very proud to represent his country, and duty was foremost. During his engagement, the Indo-Pakistan war had broken out and he wasn't there. Someone subbed for him. When I was born, he wasn't there, but he came soon after to see me. The Bangladesh war, I remember I was little then, and I remember being very afraid. So it was all these stories that I was very fascinated, growing up. So when Appa said that he is writing his book, I was very happy about it. He was lying in his hospital bed undergoing chemo, and when I was reading what he had written, all the facts were there, names, people's dates, all of that was very accurate. But it was these captivating little incidents that really drew me. And I asked him questions, and I tried to imagine how it actually happened, and I wrote it that way. So when I showed it to him, he liked it, and he asked me to rewrite the rest of the stories in the same way. So while I was doing that, I talked to Suhail Mathur, who is the very enterprising literary agent of the Book Bakers. And we were talking about the current trend and interest in narrative nonfiction. So he said he'd pitch it for me, and I'm grateful to Locksley Hall Publishing for giving us a publishing contract for this book. And, the one thing I wanted to say is that you are always my hero growing up, Papa, and you have done so much for me. So this is a small return gift. I wish you a very happy 88th birthday and many more stories.